Its origins go back to January 22, 1870. In a small Italian town, José Boglione is born. At the end of the century, he moved to Argentina with his baggage of dreams, determined to make them come true. Here, he settles in the province of Santa Fe, in Santa Clara de Saguier. His enterprising drive would give rise to a long-term plan which would be inherited by his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. When he moves to Rosario, he puts up a general store, giving his activity the typical strength of the big companies. During the Second World War, difficulties in the imports of edible oil arise, and one of his sons, Federico, propels the materialization of a new dream, a company specialized in oil manufacturing and refinement to meet the domestic market needs. Santa Clara Sociedad Anónima is born. The tenacious nature of Mr. Federico contributes to the sustained growth of the family business, adding farming and ranching, dairy farms, winter pastures, and crop farming. Federico Eduardo, his son, absorbed and learned how to boost that transformative vocation, and in 1990, he managed to have the second best-selling edible oil brand in the domestic market, while maintaining the sustained growth of the farming and ranching activity, which turned its focus towards dairying and grain production. And today, together with his offspring, he leads an economic group with a strong domestic and international presence. Los Lazos Sociedad Anónima, made up of Los Lazos Agropecuaria, with 4 farms devoted to crop farming and stock breeding. Los Lazos Industrial, dedicated to milk powder and pelleted feed production. Los Lazos Servicios, engaged in grain stocking and brokerage. The agricultural division of Los Lazos includes farming and cattle-raising ranches located in the provinces of Santa Fe, Córdoba, and Buenos Aires. Estancia La Merced is an exclusively agricultural ranch located in the central area of the Pampas Prairie. Bearing in mind soil preservation, crops are no-till, with 2 clearly defined handling schemes. Permanent crops, following the corn, soybean, wheat, second crop soybean rotation sequence, and farming with dairying, with 4 of permanent pastures and 8 to 10 years of annual crops. Milk production in La Merced started as a complementary stock breeding activity almost 30 years ago. Nowadays, it represents a physically and economically relevant part, since in La Merced dairies we obtain almost 60,000 liters a day, which amount to 50% of the total milk produced generated by Grupo Los Lazos Sociedad Anónima. Basically, the milk production system is based on grazing. During the fall-winter period, it is complemented with maize silage, and high-energy pelleted feed supplements the diet. Each one of the 8 production units in La Merced milks an average of 380 cows a day. These animals are the result of 25 years of insemination with superior genetics from the USA, Italy, Spain, and Canada. To the east of the province of Córdoba, Estancia El Embrujo employs 3 different methods of soil usage and thus generates 3 interrelated production systems. In the better soils, we rotate crops, alternating pastures for milk production. In the second soil group, we rotate pastures associated with sorghum, sunflower, foxtail millet, and bicolor sorghum crops. In this second section, together with a third, made up of livestock soils, Holando Argentino Holstein heifers are reared. Holando Argentino heifers that come from La Merced dairies and the ones that belong to El Embrujo are reared and inseminated, and 70 days prepartum they are sent to replacement, herd increase, or sale. Today, the 7 dairies of 400 milking cows constitute the main activity, attaining a production that nears 60,000 liters daily. El Embrujo provides 50% of the total milk produce of Los Lazos Sociedad Anónima fields. In the district of Balcarce, characterized by deep fertile soils, we find Establecimiento El Volcán, an essentially agricultural ranch with an outstanding underground water duty suitable for irrigation. Its land is cultivated on an ongoing basis under no-till farming, with soybean, wheat, soybean, corn crop rotation. El Volcán has 20 center pivot systems that irrigate almost 4,000 farming hectares, which allows for the full expression of its productive potential. This supplementary irrigation system aims to top off the hydric demand in critical periods, supplying the irrigation contribution to achieve high crop yield in the greatest possible surface. The purpose is not to obtain the top yield in a pivot circle, but achieve high yields in its 2 or 3 circles. An exceptional activity among the irrigated crops is the wheat and soybean interseeding. This wheat-soybean interseeding has been developed because a second crop limiting factor in the area is the short-term free of frosts. Two different livestock activities are carried out in El Volcán. One of them is beef production through the steer and heifer fattening process for the domestic market and export. The second is the production of breeding animals. The aim is to improve our own herds and increment the sale of bulls, heifers, sperm, and embryos in an increasingly demanding market in terms of quality and performance. El Volcán has an Angus rodeo with pedigree associated to the 13 most renowned breeding farms in Montana, United States. El Volcán Breeding Farm has imported more than 1,200 embryos from this state and currently has one of the most important pedigree herds in the country. "100% of the herd undergoes strict measurings. After a thorough selection, both by phenotype and performance, bulls that are going to be sold are chosen. El Volcán Breeding Farm supplies not only breeders but also insemination centers with bulls. In Estancia Santa Dominga, located in Olavarría, province of Buenos Aires, there are 4 distinctive landscape areas. The first one, essentially agricultural. The second one, wavy, with a farming attitude. The third one, with low and spread fields. And a fourth one, a hilly area. These last 2 are devoted exclusively to stock breeding. The whole land is cultivated under the no-till system. Sections allotted to farming that show a wavy land form are systematized with level curves and terraces. Soybean, wheat, corn crop rotation is seen in these areas. Sunflower is grown in these wavy lands, and to a lesser extent, corn and bicolor sorghum. In this section, farming and stock breeding merge, and part of the stockpiled forage is produced as winter supplement for herds. The 2 remaining areas are assigned to stock breeding alone, which develops 2 activities: beef production for the domestic market and export, and production of Aberdeen Angus breeding animals for sale and improving and replacement of our own herds. Estancia Santa Dominga has a pure controlled Angus herd. With this stock, we use the same selection pressure as with pedigree herds in order to select the best breeding animals that will be sold. Los Lazos Industrial is made up of the Animal Nutrition Division of Santa Silvina Sociedad Anónima, located in Clason, Santa Fe, and of the milk powder production plant located in Nogoyá, Entre Ríos, which belongs to Sociedad Anónima La Sibila. The Clason plant manufactures high-quality pelleted feed with a current milling and mixing capacity of 50 tons per hour. Pelleted products, manufactured in 2 sizes, are traded in bulk and in 25 and 40 kilos bags, including whole pelleted feed, nucleus, concentrates, correctors, premix, mineral salts, and milk replaces, formulated for different animal species: beef cattle, swine, rabbits, horses, and poultry. The Santa Silvina plant and its complete line of products have attained the zero-risk standard for mad cow disease. Product delivery is executed with our own important fleet of hopper and grain trucks, which allows us to deliver pelleted feed to all distribution and consumer centers in a timely manner. An important team of nutritionists trained in the country and abroad offer personalized assistance to customers, developing specific formulas for each individual case and generating an utterly new concept in animal nutrition. Strategic feeding, the right complement at the right time. In Nogoyá, situated in the largest dairy belt of the province of Entre Ríos, in the former Nestlé Sociedad Anónima plant, La Sibila manufactures milk powder and other dried food under the Purísima and Formidable brands, and upon request, the customer's brands, both for the domestic and international markets. Fresh milk coming from 200 dairies from the Entre Ríos dairy belt and the provinces of Santa Fe, Córdoba, and Buenos Aires arrives in refrigerated trucks at a temperature lower than 4 degrees centigrade. The first quality assessments are carried out in the source dairy. However, when the milk arrives in the plant, it is reanalyzed. Trucks unload in 4 docks with a total unloading capacity of 80,000 liters per hour. Then, The milk is heat-treated and stored in 200,000-liter silos. Next, it goes through the 3 evaporation lines, which, together, process 60,000 liters per hour. Milk concentrate is pumped and homogenized in high-pressure pumps and sent to drying towers, where the remaining water evaporates. Milk powder thus obtained is kept in powder silos and then sent to packaging machines and fractionators. The packaged and pelletized product is taken to a warehouse with a 4,000-ton capacity and conditioned at a constant temperature of 20 degrees centigrade year-round. Finished products are sent to the domestic and international markets such as Algeria, Brazil, Iraq, Nigeria, and others. Los Lazos Servicios is integrated by Santa Silvina Acopio, Coragro, and Santa Silvina Exportadora, and caters for and satisfies the marketing needs of all the companies that make up the group. Coragro Sociedad Anónima is a grain brokerage firm which operates in the Rosario Stock Exchange, and it is also shareholder of the forward market. It trades all the grain stocked by Santa Silvina. Santa Silvina Exportadora starts operations in 1992 in order to export our own grain production and also that bought to third parties to different destinations. Santa Silvina Acopio Sociedad Anónima has 3 stocking plants located in the most important areas of the country, which total 100,000 tons. The Clason plant is located in the central region of the province of Santa Fe. These premises have a stocking capacity of 42,000 tons, and there we stock grains and oilseeds grown in Estancia La Merced and Estancia El Embrujo, and from a vast customer portfolio, which make this plant one of the most important ones in the area in terms of annual volume traded. Basically, the grain varieties that enter the plant are wheat, sunflower, sorghum, corn, and soybean, being the 2 latest, the ones with greatest tonnage. The Olavarria plant has a stocking capacity of 23,000 tons and receives the agricultural production generated by Estancia Santa Dominga. The Balcarce plant is within the Estancia El Volcán, has a stocking capacity of 35,000 tons and stores the grain harvested in this farm. Irrigation equipment, own machinery, tractors, silo plants, genetics, industrial plants, offices, exports, ongoing training and professional development. All the production, farming, industrial and service units take advantage of the integration and share the improved results brought about by this synergy. As innovating companies, they continuously generate ties that require the creation of new undertakings. The dreams of a pioneer that came true.